Based on some recent feedback I've received on my various shows about Brandon Baker, it seems like Brandon Baker is going to play for about 8 schools because everybody feels confident that they've got a really good shot at what might be the best offensive tackle in the country out of Southern California. Any good leans on Brandon Baker that it's going to make the Buckeye faithful more optimistic going forward on this fine Wednesday?
I would not put Ohio State over 50% at this point. I would still sit there and say that Oregon might be the team to beat for him. Again, as it goes with recruiting, get somebody on campus and see where it takes you at this point. But right now, I will truly believe that Ohio State lands a modern day player when Ohio State lands a modern day player, and we go round and round. And there was a hot minute everybody believed that Xavier Brown was going to be in the class, and I don't hear that name mentioned as much, but you get them on a visit and you see, and the good news is that it's, a matter of, it only takes one to kind of break through. And could somebody be the one to break through? Because Mater Dei is a traditional powerhouse out there. I know Mater Dei well. It was eight miles away from my high school. So we faced them in the playoffs, and good old Irvine High School is like 0 in infinity against Mater Dei. Never beaten Mater Dei. That's just what it is. And I'm going to still say Oregon at this point. But the nice thing about recruiting is stuff changes, and I may feel differently in a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. We'll see.
Yeah, Brandon Baker, 6'5", 285. I assume he's probably closer to 300 now from Mater Dei. Number one offensive tackle, both in the country, both for 24/7 Sports and in the composite. So it's pretty much a consensus. This is one of the best offensive linemen in the country, and this is the exact type of guy that Ohio State needs to add. They've added the mechanics and the technicians and the pluggers and the grinders. Now they need that pace stringer, Boone, guy who's up there at the top of his class as an offensive lineman to anchor the Paris Johnson per se, a Donovan Jackson type guy that's going to anchor the offensive line for years to come. That's what they're missing. And this is exactly the kind of guy Ohio State fans have been clamoring for Greg Studrawa in years past, and now Justin Fry to break through and land and get that cornerstone guy that you're going to put at left tackle, and know that everything is going to be okay. So, they got Wyatt Davis out of California a few years ago, and I don't know he was quite this highly ranked, but he was certainly top 100 or top 60 or top 50, whatever he was. But, that was under the Studrawa regime. So we'll see if something changes or something develops here with Baker and Georgia, Ohio State, Miami, Michigan, Oregon. Those are some of the top schools I see with him and coming in for a visit. And as Kevin said, make sure that plane arrives on Friday and get him on campus and wine him and dine him and take it from there is how I'd look at it.
Speaking of Mika, she has a question about Arvell Reese, 2023 linebacker, defensive end. Do you think there's a reason Mika's asking this question about a move in position?
He's a guy that was speculated on when he was a recruit because he's already like 6'4" and 215 pounds. He's a taller linebacker. I think at this point though he's going to stick at linebacker. He's obviously going to gain weight, but what I wouldn't be surprised if he also maybe gets some opportunities at Jack playing a linebacker and a hybrid. But I think initially he'll be at linebacker, and if he can handle everything because he looks like a linebacker. He's a linebacker in high school, showed really good range playing a middle linebacker last year as a senior. And so you didn't really see him rushing the passer much, at least the games that I saw him. So I would expect him to start out at linebacker, and as long as things go well there, that's where he'll stay, with the caveat that maybe you see some Jack usage there.